But yeah, no, like I don't know. And people start talking about music shit, like the actual technicalities of, like, I can barely play a CD, you know, like.
I tell people it took me 45 minutes to write a song and 45 hours to record the first minute and a half of the damn thing.
Sounds about right.
It's not even an exaggeration, you know, because redo, punch in, punch out. Damn it, I screwed that setting up. Redo. I'm done. 3 days later, redo. The only reason why it goes any speedier for me is because I'm the only one playing it. So I know all my clicks. I know all my little twitches that I want to do. I know my timing. Recording with
this mic can probably pick me up better, or...
Is it Da Vinci said that art is never complete, it is only abandoned?
Oh, God damn, you're right about that.
I abandoned many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's been, paintings or drawings or...
You're really hitting me as a Star Wars fan right now.
And working.
I don't finish.
And then you're just like, fuck it.
Who constantly wants to go
done.
back and
I don't know if it's done, but I'm fucking done working on it.
There's so many things that I finish out of spite. If I actually finish them, especially like when I like crochet things, like when someone has a baby, I'll crochet him a blanket. People are like, "Oh, that's so nice! You made that out of love." I'm like, "No, that was finished out of spite and hatred."
Oh,
like
like me making Bloody Marys.
That was like my first marriage. Crazy.
How many unfinished art projects do you have right now?
About 6, but it's like really, really, the best thing for me has been Pinterest, because I have like 1,200 little pin boards of inspiration so that I don't start a fucking project that I know I'm never going to either get around to actually starting or never complete. My father was a project hoarder. He'd get like most of the stuff to start a thing and then get sidetracked with a completely different thing and then get most of the stuff to start that project. So most of his projects never actually started, or the ones that did got only about halfway through, and then he was off on to some. So there was just these random collections of odd tools and equipment and materials and stuff for all of these projects that never... He was always going to do it next weekend.
Pinterest has made that worse for me because now I know what I need to buy instead of just this vague dreaming that one day I'll do this.
Bags
I'll
of
figure
supplies
out.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you last night, the paper mache stuff. I have a bunch of sculpting stuff for customizing ball jointed dolls. I have a fuck ton of paint, sewing supplies.
No, it was, for me, it was, a conscious decision to no longer start a project unless I have everything I need to go from start to finish.
Amateur.
And if not, fuck it. It just sits over there on, a Pinterest board or in a fucking notebook full of ideas and random half-baked thoughts. And because otherwise I will have I already own too much crap as it is. I don't need more shit that I'm never going to actually use.
I've got 2 unfinished guitars. One that's lacking electronics and strings. I've got one that I need to finish routing. I've got a shield that I've been working on for a year and a half. I've got
right, and something like
I'm building a boat
right,
for my old man.
Like a friggin' shield. I mean, what do you like for heavy combat in the SCA?
No, I'm building a shield.
Oh,
It's a decorative piece that I'm going to sell. It's got, what I'm doing is I'm making the rivets now. And I'm learning how to make rivets, and in the process of learning how to make rivets...
I know that phase.
In the process of learning how to make rivets, I figured out that I could build a forge for $150, and I'm going, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just farther down the shithole I go.
Yeah.
With
Project
more stuff,
section.
more projects, and more things.
You're like, oh no, I could totally just make that myself. instead
Boom,
of
I got
buying
this.
it.
No problem.
Because, why would you buy the item when you can buy $160 worth of craft supplies and then never actually make it? It doesn't help being a digital artist to not hoard things, because then you just have a full hard drive of digital art that...
Well, see, my thing is instruments. Before the fire in the house, I had I think 7 or 8 guitars in the basement that are all gone.
I've got 9 now and 2 basses.
Although my Gibson survived.
I just have a
The
clarinet.
flight case, however,
Didn't make it.
barely survived.
Oh, yeah.
SKB flight case. And it took the contractor an hour and a half with a cutoff wheel to punch through that lock.
Yeah. I
Because
had
it kind of it got a little melty.
4 keyboards, 2 guitars.
Okay.
And they're like,
2
well, we want to
basses,
save the case. I'm like, I don't
sold
give a
the drum
crap.
set.
I don't give a damn about the $100 case. I want that $3,000 guitar sitting there.
All I'm saying is, you're in North Everett, and it took you, an hour and a half to open a lock.
You're a little behind the curve here, buddy.
$20 on a street corner, they would have got that open for you.
Yeah, but at that point, they would have knocked me out and taken the case and the guitar.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, no, I want...
I don't know. Some of the weird shit that I have that I'm just like, why do I fucking have this? That always blows my mind when, you're packing up, for instance, or moving or whatever, or just moving shit out of the way, and then you look and you're like, I have, a double-bitted felling axe. For all that logging that I did. No, it's not. This is not a fantasy axe. It's not a reenact. It is a legit felling axe that.
And you find it, and you're like, when's the last time I chopped down a goddamn tree?
I have a piece
Did I build a log home that I don't
one of the
remember?
metal support bars that fell
saw,
off of the tables out there. It's in my car. It's my level 1
At one point, I'm going to have
weapon.
to tandem cut down a 20-foot tree.
It's just a
have to.
hollow
I
tube with a
collect wood
screw.
scraps now. I find myself driving through alleyways and I see wood scraps and I throw them in the back of the truck. I take them home and Pop and I repurpose them. I'm building a cabinet for a guitar thing that I'm trying to do, and it's all biscuited together with random pieces with this strange, ridiculous Frankenstein calico look to it, which is actually kind of cool in its own weird, stupid way. But it's not quite where I want it. And I keep looking at it going, I have a problem. I really do.
Yes, but you're actually getting this stuff and then
doing something.
You have an intent for it. I
not
have
just
no
getting it to
idea
get it.
why I own this axe.
Do you even remember where you got it?
No! I've just had it for 20 years. My buddy Nene was the worst lighter thief I ever met in my life. He'd come over, we'd be hanging out, gaming, whatever, watching movies. He never had a lighter, right? So he'd bum a lighter off you, go have a cigarette, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Hour or two later, he's got your lighter in his pocket, but he mentally knows that he doesn't have a lighter. So he'd bum another lighter off you. And that would just go on throughout the entire day, and then you basically had to shake him down at the end of the night before he left. Empty your pockets, bro. And he's like,
give me the damn lighters.
And he's got 7 lighters, and he didn't have any when he showed up. And
I had a friend back in high school that was that bad about guitar picks and pencils. And every once in a while, we'd grab him, throw him on the floor, take his book bag and shake it out. There'd be 30 guitar picks and 80 pencils on it. It's like, are you a klepto? He's like, I like having lots of pencils. I'm like, you can see that. I'm a little fortunate in that regard. I don't have too many people that steal it. I don't smoke anymore, so it doesn't worry me anymore at all, which is good.
Oh,
drum keys
is the
worst.
Yeah.
My first drum set was a carbon copy of Lars Ulrich's set from Master of Puppets. Because at that point, he was like my drum god.
Thomas Swinton Stars.
And I hadn't, at that point, branched out far enough to realize that every other drummer on the planet is pretty much better than he is.
Okay.
But I like that kid.
It's like you talking about Lars as a drum god, and I'm like,
keep in mind I was 13.
But Rush, okay?
I hadn't found Rush yet.
Who?
I gotta go have a cigarette.
My old man was a tool junkie, because he worked on everything under the sun. And when I got my first drum kit in the house, I had a tension watch, but didn't have a drum key. I told hey Pop, I don't have a drum kit. I can't tune this thing. He goes, well, we need to tune it because it sounds like terrible. All right, well, so I have a tension watch, and he's like, okay, what do you need? I was like, I need something to fit that. And the next thing I know, I walk out into the garage, and my old man has taken and pieced together this set of god awful extensions to make this one little into the drum, the same thing as the head.
Yeah. And
I got an electric screwdriver, and I'm back there with a tension watch, going zip, 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 zip. And it was the worst thing in the entire world because it was all one to fall apart, but it worked. And I got to tune my drums that way. It was really easy, but I didn't have an actual drum key until I grew up at like 19 years old, and that was interesting to get in the first one because I got the one that you clip on your keychain. Mm-hmm. Which was dumb as hell because you're trying to tune your drums and your keys are flopping all over the damn place.
Conceptually, I appreciate prog rock. In practice, I don't have 12 and a half minutes for one fucking song. Wrap that shit up and let's move on to the next one.
It's funny. I like Dream Theater. I like Rush. I really enjoyed King Crimson. God help you, Schizoid Man. I mean, Frank Zappa. Holy Jesus, okay? But after like 20 minutes, I'm like, my brain is tired listening to this shit. And in my old age, what I've reduced myself to is my big thing now is Stoner Doom. Fu Manchu, Go Test, Lord Vicar. Nice, boppy, deep, slow, Black Sabbath, go to hell music, And I spent my entire 20s going, and it just didn't profit me a damn bit. Because when it come down to it, all it ever mattered was all the songs I ever wrote for people. The ones that everybody liked the most were the ones that they could just do this shit with.
Yeah.
Because that was what drove them.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No, I don't I will totally listen to music. I just don't have any brain space left to dedicate towards music.
That hurts. That makes my soul shrivel a little bit when I hear people say that.
But
all I think
he's
about.
already dedicated to Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to unlearn.
He'd have to empty out a lot of file cabinets.
Yeah, I mean, there's there's important facts that are stored away in this brain that can't be
producers of every episode and writers.
Generally, that would be Stephen Ira Burr.
Stunt doubles for all the Klingon people on board.
Yeah, give it to me. Come on, you want to get weird? Let's get weird. I mean, you know what? Most people can't name the chief engineers on the Enterprise D. They'll go LaForge, and I'm like, he was the third one. You have Lieutenant McAllister. She was the first one. Then you have Lieutenant Commander Argyle. He was the second one. She was only in one episode. He was in 4. Yeah, but the fourth one, you only hear him, because they're like,
engineering.
Yeah, and
this is the language I don't understand.
Yeah, you're going, I can teach you music in 20 minutes. I'm like, well, I can
Teach
you grammar for Old East Norse in about an hour and a half.
All right, then.
You know, like...
You teach me Old Norse, I'll teach you how to play a guitar.
Well, you know, I don't want to learn to play a guitar. I got enough shit going on.
We don't need another project.
I don't need another project.
You don't want another money sink? Because that's all guitars are, is a money sink.
One of the things that's also, to me at least, slightly interesting is, aside from the various creative processes that I always find it interesting, just because I'm a fucking gamer, so eventually everything relates back to games.
Yeah.
And people, you'll talk about that moment, that your 3 seconds of perfection, that impacted your life, changed your entire paradigm. And then I'm always like, what video game, war game, role play? Which game was it for me that hit that moment of perfection?
The cool part about
my moment of perfection was WoW.
The cool part about it now is that when you reach a certain age,
was Old Republic.
When you reach a certain age, you stop. When I was younger, it was always I'm a video gamer, I'm a tabletop gamer. I have been since I was 12. I've been playing music since I was 8. And I'm like, to me, for a long time there, the only real, I don't want to say the only real good thing that I had was music. And, you always have this narrow ass-minded view of what is good and what is bad and what is worthy and not as unworthy, And when you hit a certain point in your age when you're like, it doesn't make a shit what your art is. Whether it's visual or painting or playing video games or standing up and telling fucking jokes, If it's good for you, it's good, period.
Yeah. What I like about Dark Souls is it's extremely aesthetically pleasing.
It's gorgeous.
Pretty.
That's gorgeous.
Just between the not just the soundtrack, but also the environmental sounds, and it's visually pleasing. I like the combat style of that game, and it does give a really rewarding fucking heroin needle in the arm fucking feeling when you accomplish something.
Well, I mean, the moment you get through a stage in that game, you walk out there, because that game is an absolute...
You've been beating your head for 3 hours.
It's not by any means the only video game that I am like that with, but...
But you're always...
because people have heard of Dark Souls more recently than Metroid, surprisingly. You know how many people they're like, oh, what's that unfinished thing on your arm? I'm like, oh, it's from Super Metroid, which Aaron did coloring on. And they're like, what's that game? I'm like...
Go away, noob. That's what you want to do.
That game was frustrating, but I like Super Metroid.
I was always just all about tabletop role-playing games. Give me anything, and basically started playing late 80s, 4th grade. So, yeah, for me, that defining game that just kind of changed everything, honestly, was Ars Magica, which is a game most people are like, what the hell? And that really, kind of changed my perceptions of gaming and moved it away from just, Grog the Barbarian smashing guy in face over and over and over again. But really, honestly, it was probably Vampire the Masquerade that just changed everything. Redefined the entirety of that shared narrative experience. I mean, because that wasn't a game about heroics. That wasn't. It was. It was so different, and the views and the way it was written and everything about it. From just the mechanics, the entirety of it. I mean, and you back up to Ars Magica. It's one of the first games to introduce the idea of a target number. Like, now everyone it's not even a difficulty level. It's just a thing. That's just a thing.
Right.
In 1990, that wasn't a thing. It was all in percentiles. You rolled percentiles, or you rolled your d20 trying to get over the fucking Thaco, and that was it. There was really nothing else. West End Games had their dice system for Ghostbusters, but whatever. Ars Magica, was the first to do dice plus a bonus versus a target number, and that was like, what? I can have a range of more than like 10? That was amazing. And then, yeah, Vampire just fucking changed everything. So huge swaths of the World of Darkness is largely based off of or inspired by or draws any uncomfortable level of parallels and influence from a game called, what the hell was it? Nightlife. And it had, and its books were like America After Dark, instead of City by Night. Yeah. But it was basically just second ed D&D with vampires and werewolves and mages. But also lots of like music and fashion influences of the weird early 90s, late 80s craziness. But it didn't have, I don't know, that.
See, it was funny. You came into gaming, and your big moment was Vampire, and I started out playing D&D, and I can remember
shitloads of D&D.
I can remember us telling our friends' moms that we were going to go play poker for money because it was okay for us to gamble at 9 years old, but not for us to go play that anti-Jesus devil game.
Right?
Yeah. Remember when I say that the Bible's in the banjo, I'm not joking. Okay, you were going to hell for playing that, and we would tell our families we're going to gamble rather than we're going to play D&D. And I remember growing up in the hysteria. Do you have a role player in your household? Do you want to save your household from Satan's influence? And then I hated Vampire when it came out. And do you know why I hated Vampire when it came out? Because those bastards got to go LARP. And we were taught that was evil when we were kids.
Oh, man. My best friend growing up, her mom, thought my entire family was some like devil worshipping cult. Like my brother was this leader of a cult, and my parents were like the most horrible things in the world because we were allowed to go play in the woods behind my house. Mm-hmm. And D&D was the devil, but what the fucking game was it? It had the wolf in. I think it was one of the World of Darkness games.
Werewolf the Apocalypse?
Yeah, I think it was. But, like, the back of the one book she let her buy literally had this shaman with, like, an upside-down pentagram, like, carved into his forehead with, like, magic and everything, and that was okay. But D&D was the devil because I played it.
I still have people to this day, like, who are telling me that they won't let their kids watch Harry Potter movies because they mentioned wizards and witches. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Up.
How much stupidity have you people dined on in the last 24 hours?
Well,
because it's poisoning your system.
I would have gotten into D&D as a teenager, but you have to have friends to play with.
That was my issue. I grew up in a small mountain town in the middle of nowhere.
I can't really play with myself.
I was the nerd in my town.
I mean, you can play with yourself, but that's in a completely different game.
Oh, yeah.
We were lucky we had a group. Now, mind you, 3 of the people in the group, we just absolutely fucking hated.
I didn't have
But
friends.
they played, so we invited
Yes.
them over.
I
Yeah.
had my
Yeah.
brother
Yeah.
and his girlfriend,
I met
and my
two
brother
people who
DM'd,
played before,
and
and
he
they
ran
were in
a
their
game
40s,
with her
and I was like 16.
That's what it was.
My first D&D group, there were 6 of us, and we hated 4 of them. But
But
You had
It's-
enough for a
But
group.
you needed players, damn it.
No,
So you
yeah,
invited them.
yeah.
it wasn't because they added to the group. It was because their families had enough money to buy the books.
Oh,
That's good.
that's-
Nah, I
I
love
just
it.
started DMing. Yeah, it's
I used to get in trouble in school for
yeah,
reading.
you were. You're a part of that. Thank you.
Yeah, like I think that
So there goes
the
the shit
best
like 10 minutes in.
best campaign I ever ran, which ran for basically for about 8 years. But the entire everything that I had thought of beforehand would have fit on an index card. And mostly it was I want to, the big bad guy is going to have this incomprehensible Glaswegian accent. And that was as far as my planning went, and it went beautifully. Every time I have thought basically too far ahead, there's yeah.
I've been
So we're
tabletop for 5 years.
Yeah, you like if you plan too much,
We're doing
You're
a
just
big
going to
campaign,
end up-
Yeah,
and
we're
it's
still
already
doing
off the
a
rails.
module. He's
Right.
DMing, and but even that, like our group has proven to go off script, and
but that's the point.
and it's
It's
funny.
also my first time DMing.
It was
so
funny at one point, like we're like,
God have mercy
We're-
on your poor soul.
oh yeah,
I have to
especially
play
with
with
us.
her.
That's
So anyways, at one point we're like, so what's going on? He's like, I don't know. You guys were supposed to kill him. And Dave was like, usually I just make something up. He's like, what do you think I'm trying to do right now?
Well, like look at it this way: like if you've got 4 or
I've been making
5
shit up for the
or
last hour.
2
Yeah.
or 7 players that can show up every week and fly by the seat of their pants and just fucking wing it, you should be able to as well.
Not even that. If you can find
Like,
a group of
Those
5
are
to
the
6
best games
people
I've ever been
that
in.
can show up 3 times in a month.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like look, God.
We've already won the lottery.
Yeah. All right. No,
I
you're
got a
right
5-man group, and they've been pretty steady now for going on 2
We've been
years.
going on for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I used
Almost
to have-
every weekend.
I used
Yeah.
to have 9 players,
We-
and that was
Fuck
like
that,
hell.
that's-
I never want to
no.
do again.
For like
That's
6
way too
people
many.
every
That's way
weekend.
too many.
Sorry.
Like,
Well, yeah,
I
my niece
won't get
there.
into a tabletop group of more than 5 people.
I'm at the point-
It gets too.
I'm at
Yeah.
the point now where my max is 5 people,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
it. And I don't want any more.
That makes a good party, but combat or any round situation is not so fucking long. Or if you have people who start getting really easily distracted with me, and you're not.
God, that's our group.
Yeah.
yeah.
So then you're not like everybody's on.
Like 6 people, 6
it
easily
kind
distracted
of, to
people.
me, it would definitely depend on the style of game that we're playing. If we're looking at, basically a beer and pretzel murder hobo dungeon crawl, fine, 6, 7 people,
That's a murder.
whatever.
I like
We're
that.
just kicking indoors, slaughtering everyone who lives there that has lived there for 300 years because they're green.
But we're not racist.
No, but we're not the bad guys. Sure, fine, whatever. We're heroes. You just committed mass genocide. But anyway,
Heroes!
In the name
heroes.
of good.
Fine. I can do 6, 7 players.
My
If
God
we're-
said so.
If you're talking like a highly narrative, driven, intrigue based, or something like that, more than 4 is really untenable.
If you need another
like-
character to round out the party, that's when you make an NPC that kind of takes long.
But-
and either
but-
they're really stupid and all they do is hit things with a stick,
Right, but like okay, so if you're playing something, if you're playing, I don't know, Knights Black Agents, combat is very quick, and the idea of rounding out the party is asinine. It's not a thing. It depends on the game that you're. The game, the setting, the system, and the style that you want. Mm-hmm. If, like I said, if you're playing, murder hobos, then sure, maybe you want that, well, we got to have a cleric,
to make sure that we can murder in the next
continue
room.
murdering hobos.
We have to heal.
Yeah, I mean,
hilarious watching
driving focus back, because I think we've all probably at some point or another been at a table or in a game with that one asshole who can't focus on the game for more than 12 seconds.
In Vigors.
I in my group, two people change out depending on what game, because we have 2 games going. In our Pathfinder, like just straight up Pathfinder campaign, 3 of the 4 players are ADD. 2 of them are like so ADD they can't like spend 2 seconds without going like engaging with the characters playing the thief. I'd be like, okay, no, Elena's being active, and then the DM would say a sentence and she'd get distracted. Like, no, okay, Elena's being active, but then one of the players is Skyped in, and he is also highly medicated and still so ADD. So then it's like,
man.
Are you there? Are you there? Oh, yes. Okay, well, what does Mr. McShooty Face do? I don't know. I shoot them.
Oh, my God.
Which has been fun. He shot our...
At one point, I ran a game for 4
I need a
players at
Xanax for the game that you played that I didn't even play. Just hearing that.
Gaming by mail.
Oh, did you ever do gaming by mail?
Oh, God.
Come on, baby.
No, play by mail was that for me. That was war games. Yeah. But yeah. No, I would not. No, I won't. I will not do tabletop role play by anything other than in person.
Yeah.
To me, there is so much that occurs at the table above and beyond the narrative and dialogue that
needs to be done in person.
I can't look at a computer screen or I need to be able to I don't know, actually interact with
or punch them if you need to.
Or God help you, you're trying to describe something and there's something that's very dark and deep about it, and you have to go, hold on, it's very dark, because the person on the other connection can't hear anymore. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, I will. I won't play via Skype. Like I never understood the weirdness and insanity of the early days of competitive role playing. Like whereas like the murder hoboing through a dungeon to just see who made it the farthest.
Well, a lot of that came down
to me at that point, if I want to play a fucking war game, I will play a war game. I don't want, if I'm playing a role playing game, I want
some role playing.
I want character development. I want a narrative. I don't want, I kick in the door and I stab everything that's green and pick up all of the gold bits. Next room. I like that.
It sums up most of the early parties. But I remember going to Dragonflight. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but it was Dragonflight. And I was there with a couple of friends of mine. They were doing an internet radio show back when you did internet radio. And they asked me to run a game live on the air for the little radio show for that week at Dragonflight. And I had a half a dozen pre-made characters, and I had a first edition module, AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. This is right at the height of the 3.5, craze. And people walk by and they're like, do you want to play a game live on the show? They're like, yeah, sure, sit down. Here's your character sheet. The hell is this? It's a character sheet. Where are all my skills? You are assumed to know the things that are requisite for your class. What does that mean? That means you don't have to have a skill in holding your dick to pee. And they were like, what? I was like, just go with it. If you're a wizard, you can read and write. And they're like, okay. And so I'm running them through first edition models that I did as a 12-year-old. Right. And they're like, I don't know what to do now. This is the part where you tell me what your character does. That's why it's called roleplay.
I stabbed the green thing kicking the
Go in and take all the fucking gold bits. But it worked.
In a weird way,
Yeah,
I miss it, but love it's changed. But I also wish it was still kind of that way.
Look, like I said, there is a time and place for murder hobos. I have played in plenty that I have enjoyed, and there are times when I'm like, yeah, I just, I want to make a dwarven berserker guy who just, runs around and grunts and puts an axe in people's faces, and that's it.
You know what's hilarious?
But there's other times where, like,
the lunchbox.
I want to be part of
God knows character development.
This fucking mandala of a legend that never was. I need this ephemeral experience. That's revelatory and insightful and beautiful and only exists for us 6 people, and that if you ever try and explain it, you just sound like a madman talking about murder hobos. I know I always sound like I'm shitting on dungeon crawls.
Because you are.
Because I am. But it's not that I don't enjoy them. In that, that I'm telling, that's the wrong way to play. No, fuck it. Play however you want. I'm just saying
when it's wrong.
For me, I don't. If I want a dungeon crawl, I'll totally play a video game. I want that Lord of the Rings. I want that Dragonlance. I want that epic
high
narrative.
Fantasy really just.
Well, whether it's high fantasy or not, I want to feel like my character is actually part of the world and has an impact on the world, and the world has an impact on that character, and that there's this communal sense of ownership of that story.
The last 3 years, my wife and I met our partner, and she's a wonderful young lady, and she's a Harry Potter freak. I mean, like, down to the bone Harry Potter freak. And I've seen the movies, I've read books, because it was interesting to read books, I didn't know anything about it. And we start talking about, playing these games, and she wanted to play on the table immediately. I was like, cool, you're in the game. And then she's like, hey, have you ever thought about trying to run this? And I was like, no, I've never tried it. And she's like, I'll tell you what, you run for me, I'll run for you, and we'll hammer out how we're going to do this for the tabletop. I'm like, cool, we'll use this as an experiment to go to the table for the big group, and we'll put them all together in the same world, right? 3.5 fucking years later, man, and I'm not kidding you, we've got 4 books on the shelf of notes for 250 years of canon now from Harry Potter that we took off from that starting point going forward. And I haven't done that in 20 years with a damn RPG. And it was a source material that I would have never touched in my entire life, not knowing any better already, We created a damn game system just to play it. Because the one in the book is just terrifying. It's horrible. But we created a game system just to play that damn game with that series of characters. We're over here tonight before we sit down for this thing. and we're running the 435 years after we started with a set of characters, and it's this ongoing, amazing story that I couldn't explain if I tried. I couldn't explain if I tried. I can give you snippets, but you have to be there to understand it. But I mean, there are notebooks, composition books, 100 pages long. They're nothing but family trees.
I use
for
Google
these people.
Docs.
Yep.
Those are.
Yep. See, we have notebooks with family trees that go back 45 generations of people.
I have
From these characters that we create, and it's like I haven't done this in years, and it's just like, yay! I get to, it was amazing.
In a weird way, that would be crack for me, just to be able to delve that deep into a story.
Oh, I have one character right now who I have 5 generations back on his human side. It's a half elf. On the human side, I have like 5 or 6 generations back. I started leaving blanks for the DM to be able to fill in, so she can have some say, because it's in this setting that she created. And then on his elven side, there's another like 3 generations back.
Yeah.
And then, because his parents are in a poly relationship, I also have the third branch, like 6 branched out, and
Yeah,
but damn it, it does feel good to make good fiction like that.
oh yeah, no,
And it feels good to write it and to be part of it and play it, and you're thinking, damn,
it's just I want to do it faster than in 3.5 years, so it's like
know.
beating my brains. I'm like, well, I want to. Actually, took notes on what to talk about next video. Like creating deities.
I was surprised at. I've been playing games now for 30 years, so to say. I can make a game out for the table in 5 minutes and make it work. But I was surprised at how much we start doing this little game, and I'm like, this is pretty damn cool. And she's like, I want to do something on Sunday with the group that's not this yet because we're not ready yet. How about something different? And so because my brain's ticking so much with what we're doing on the side game, I create this, I draw maps, and I make up a world, and I start doing this kind of stuff, and I drop it, and I got these players that have been going for 3 years with the same damn idea that just came up because somebody wanted to go raid an Acropolis. And the only reason why it worked in my head was because I had been, playing this other game, and my brain was finally ticking away again. It's something really neat again. And it was so much fun because I was like, I found myself sitting there at 1 o'clock in the morning drawing maps like I did when I was 15 years old. It was like, the hell am I doing? Never mind. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, there's definitely something invigorating about that creative process and that storytelling when your players are jazzed about it as well. If they're just along for the ride, then you're just kind of like, I don't know. My actual favorite of the old second ed completes was the complete book of dwarves. It had much. It added other levels to the game. They had all of these tables and charts and whatnot for defining your stronghold and your mines, and something to do in the game other than
being murder hobos.
Did anybody ever do a random dungeon for the DMG? Where you have the DMG tables where you roll the random dungeon?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did that a lot.
How many times did it do this shit?
It was random encounters, random no. Just no. Just no. Was no.
He doesn't like chaos.
It's not that I don't like chaos. Chaos is fine. You can have just complete
utter batshit.
That's fine. Hell, I've played Toon. Okay. You literally were a cartoon character.
Munchie cheese with rocket launchers. Holy shit. What's good?
But when the game is so far outside of the realm of self-consistency, that verisimilitude, to the point that it's just ridiculous. And that's inevitably what happens anytime you start running an entire session off of random tables. They exist, they're nice, to salt and pepper, don't run an entire game off of random No.
No, it gets too crazy.
I like to tell my players to roll dice for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely.
Roll a mental check for me. Why? Because I said so.
Yeah.
You roll
to
a what?
keep you on your toes.
Oh, okay.
A little paranoia. Yeah.
I'm going to scribble
What
behind
that
the screen,
mean?
of course.
Oh, you don't get to know what that means.
Yeah.
Like,
You didn't make it.
It was
never mind.
it was nothing. I made you roll that for
no.
reason, but
Yeah.
That's always fun.
And you don't even need to say anything. You're just like, okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or you just start rolling
Roll the
dice.
perception. All right, you keep walking.
No, I like to have them, roll random luck and dismemberment. Just roll a single d10, and then you make a note. Sometimes there's a point to it. Sometimes no. It's just to torment the players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Schadenfreude is
You did that quite well in the one game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
My other
just roll
favorite
dice
phrase
myself, just like,
is
That's a
incoming
check for
plot
something you
device.
should
Would you
never.
care to counter magic?
I checked for something you would never normally need to check for. I'm
I
like,
don't have my own hair.
oh well, I'm gonna walk down this path.
That's fine.
Give me a dex check. Why? I'm like, I want to see if you fucking fall on your face.
No,
Just give me one.
Like
You do
sometimes-
like you trip, you take 1 point of damage. What's the point of that? I'm like,
What they
'Cause-
fall off of?
I wanted to see if you had made the walk. I've never done, but like I've seen
yeah,
people do that kind
I've
of thing, like
seen that.
just
They're
weird
okay.
storytelling elements.
My
Oh, sorry. I'm going to look this way.
Well,
Pivot!
yeah, like
Pivot!
unless you roll a one,
Pivot!
you pass this. Like you pass this unless you roll a one,
right, like
and then I'll find out something fun.
so
that
throwing random skill checks, rolls, and stuff like that. That if you're just like, I just need you to make a perception check, and then all right, for that to just kind of boost the ambient tension, to build the tension, the sense of drama. Okay, fine. But if you're like, oh, you need to make a climb check to just climb this ladder, and it has no bearing on the narrative, and if they succeed, nothing meaningful happens, and if they fail, they just break their ankle, and it's a pointless hindrance.
So they're me.
Then
Yeah.
at that point, that's not building tension and drama. That's just being kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And it's a pointless skill check. I am all about the air quote meaningless skill check that
It's just there to make you feel like there's still stakes involved,
that adds to the paranoia of the player.
a little bit
right?
of a horror thing.
I want the player active and involved, but I'm not looking to punish the character, for
That
no
perception
particular
check could
reason.
just be like, hey, you see a really fucking awesome looking bird up in that tree.
And then
This one
everyone
wasn't so
just
much
is
like
well, what does the
punishing
bird
or
look like? Does it look
benefit.
abnormal?
It was more just like
No,
Here's
but
the thing,
How
like,
much is
I-
it moving?
I'm just throwing this weird check in, like how I'm going to spin this scenario.
Right.
It's not a real pro or a con. I just want to know how to
sure.
give me something so I know how I want to spin it, because I can make it great or I can make it be like really funny and humorous.
Yeah, and I have played in too many games where there is that random and pointless check that serves no purpose to the narrative,
Yeah.
but also serves no purpose to the game and to me as a player. And, like I said, if you're throwing in a check to build drama and suspense and paranoia and personal intrigue of the players, fine. Great. If you're just throwing it in, but there's no payoff for passing and only punishment for failing, then you're just being a dick.
My question for you, though, is, like, how do you balance out, like, the kind of drama and the threat? Like, you're going into this, like, you're jumping into this really hard thing. There's the threat of death here.
There are
but you
things far worse than death.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if you're talking...
I'm partially being as a new kind of DM, so, I'm also asking, as, like, how do you handle these kind of scenarios?
All right, so if you're talking your, kind of your standard D&D game, right? And you're in a high fantasy thing, I mean, you can talk about, like...
wait, which one of us are vibrating?
Oh.
I'm vibrating.
All right, so permanent injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You want to add drama and tension and suspense to something like a simple hack and slash fantasy game. Get rid of restoration. Get rid of resurrection. Get rid of alignment-based spells, so no protection from good, no protection from evil, no detect good, no detect evil. All of that just goes away, doesn't exist, is not an existence in the world. So there's no, I just, do some hoobajoo and know that that's the bad guy. No. Because fuck that. One of the best forms of evil is the insidiousness, that heresy, that good guy who's actually bad.
But he thinks he's good.
You get into a fight with an orc and he, crushes your hand. That doesn't come back. So now you're forever fighting left-handed.
With a negative because you're frightened, or vice versa.
And or you have to figure out other ways to overcome those challenges. There's ways to without necessarily killing the character, utterly destroy them. If it's a well-rounded and well-built character, it has a history, it has a life. It is more than just a set of stats, a broadsword, and a shield. You can do extreme emotional and psychological damage and impact to its network and its support systems. You can raise the village that it was, from. It's just gone. Those you can outlaw it. Oh God!
I have a great example of
you can actually point out. Sorry, I'll let you finish. You take that heroic paladin who's doing this, dungeon crawl where he's, going in and clearing out this ancient temple of all of these monsters, and you can go, well, really, how heroic are you? Because this tribe of kobolds has been living in this abandoned temple, except for it's not abandoned. They live there. You literally just kicked in the front door of your neighbor's house, murdered their entire family, loaded up their television, and then called yourself a hero. And watch, if that's a well-developed character, they're going to be in a world of chaos and pain and misery and doubt. There are fantastic ways to completely shatter a character without ever doing a single point of damage to them. Anyway, you want to say?
So, on within the same vein, years and years ago, I was playing a game, and our paladin died because something stupid. It wasn't when he was thrown several miles by the black dragon that he was fighting, because he wanted to try to raise the baby and see nature versus nurture, and it wasn't. He ended up dying. And so we took him to get resurrected, and the DM did such a great job of explaining it to where it had to be one of us to call him back, because we, without knowing it, went to a succubus to cast the resurrection spell. So we get him to actually answer through the call to return instead of going to his god, and then she owned his soul. So he was no longer a paladin.
So did he become
He was a gray paladin or
Blackguard?
whatever. He an anti-paladin type sort.
Oathbreaker?
I can't remember. It
Blackguard
was
another
it was
old
third
term,
edition.
but yeah.
Blackguard.
Yeah, but because of the choices we made of going, well, let's go to the first person that there is, and then him as a character deciding, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to answer the call to, be resurrected, he ended up having to change his entire class. Eventually, he was able to, we were able to get his soul from her. That was an entire new branch of the campaign. That was actually really awesome. And he became a Grey Guard instead. But now his character had this new personal goal of regaining his paladininess because he had to atone for giving his soul to a succubus. And so that was a really fun
way of doing that?
Yeah. And then, my character was racked with guilt because she's the one who called him to walk through the threshold. And she was like, oh shit, I really fucked over, my romantic interest, this person I love. And he was like, he didn't care anymore about anything. He didn't have a soul to really give a damn about what he was doing. So it put a really interesting play, because then my character was the only good character in this campaign, and so it went in interesting ways. And then we killed the god of
And you're
time.
kind of guilty about it just because you're like, I'm the only good character, but I did this, so how good am I?
I fucked so much up. If I had just let him go to his god, and it was this great. That DM was really good at building these very intricate webs of life for the characters. And I kind of miss him, but the guy himself is a jerk. So.
Let me pro it.
Yeah.
We've stopped this now.
Kayla, we're calling.
I could do this till 8 in the morning.
Right.
But
I mean,
I'll be here at 11 o'clock in the morning waiting for this to end.
yeah.
So if you like what you heard tonight, please like and subscribe. Keep on watching, watch the whole thing. Come back anytime, drop a comment for us. If you keep on liking and subscribing, we'll keep on making these. Unfortunately or fortunately, whatever your opinion is. Please leave us a thumbs up and look for notifications so when the next one comes up, you know where it is. Thanks a lot. Good evening.